I felt like it was good off the bat. I just didn't know it was going to go out. I thought it was going to be a double. But when it went out, it was awesome. The energy was great amongst the stadium and the team. So it changed the momentum, and kept it going throughout the game.
Our guys answered the bell. Bell rung, and our guys came up swinging. It's been a microcosm of our entire season. Our guys are pretty locked in for today, and it just shows again their maturity, their focus, and their hunger and desire and their sense of urgency to continue to keep playing baseball here in the summer. So I'm pretty proud of those guys.
Want to hear more great quotes like that from the hitting hero for today's game, Levi Aguila, along with Skip Martinez and the rest of the locker room? Well, as we've said all season long, the only way to do it is to stay tuned to the official Batavia Muck Dogs postgame show starting now. What's going on, Muck Dog Mafia? Feeling really good? Well, you should after your team completes an absolutely demolishing of the Elmira Pioneers 12-3 this afternoon to advance to the second round of the PGCBL playoffs, which again will be right back here at Dwyer Stadium tomorrow night. Hello everybody, I'm John Kruba, going to take you through this post-game show, and really, what can you say about it other than utter and complete dominance by your Batavia Muck Dogs? And really, the tone was set in the bottom of the second inning. That two-run home run by Levi Aguila was absolutely huge. It turned the tide of the game. It set the tone early that this was not going to be a pleasant afternoon for the Elmira Pioneers. And also, it got the crowd into the game because, remember, a Batavia Muck Dog player had not hit a home run on the fly here at Dwyer all season. Again, they say a lot of times the playoffs is when special things happen. Well, that was pretty special because, again, it was the first home run hit out on the fly by a Muck Dog player this season and only the third one this year. And again, it got the crowd into it. It got the team rolling. And from there, it opened the floodgates and they just never looked back. They got off to a strong 6-0 lead. Elmira tried to come back a couple times, but even when Elmira would get a run or two on the board, Batavia would just come back with another onslaught. And that's the thing about this team. We have continuously praised the depth of this team, and we saw it again this afternoon. The offensive attack just would not stop from inning one to the bottom of the eighth inning, which would be the last at bat for Batavia on the game. And again, they just continued to steamroll their way over Elmira, winning both games, the regular season finale and now the playoffs, and they outscored them by a total of 21-9. Pretty impressive, and now they get set for round number 2. But before we preview that and get into some other things, let's hear and take you through how they got it done in round 1. And we'll listen to the game highlights. A quick reminder, we are also going to play the end of the broadcast. We're going to replay it for you at the end of the post-game show in case you didn't catch it here on the Muck Dogs Baseball Network. But let's get to the game highlights, as always brought to you by the Batavia Muck Dogs Baseball Network. And in this case, it was Batavia jumping out in front thanks to the two-run home run by Levi Aguila, an absolute moonshot over the left field wall, helping spark Batavia to an early 6-0 edge.
Now coming set. Here comes the pitch, and that one is whacked in the air, deep to left, going back, and it's out of here! It is gone! Round tripper! A two-run shot off the bat of Levi Aguila! Touch 'em all! A two-run blast! And in the bottom of the second, the first home run hit on the fly out of Dwyer this season for your Muck Dogs. It's Levi Aguila. And in the bottom of the second, Batavia 2, Elmira no score. Here comes 3-2. Caleb rips it into right field for a base hit. Bobbled by the right fielder. Runner coming home. Torres slides in there safely with the head first It's in opposite field. RBI single off the bat of Caleb Rodriguez. Seeing Eye just drove it and roped it into right. So an RBI single in the bottom of the third inning, and your Muck Dogs opening up a lead on Elmira. Batavia 3, Elmira no score. Burraway in the on-deck circle for Batavia, looking to add on. Up 3-0, big spot in the game. 3-2, Canoe back up the middle, slow roller into center. It was stopped by the shortstop. Runner still coming home, and he scores standing up. Again, aggressive base running as the shortstop Olsowski tried his best to keep it from going into center, but couldn't. And Caleb Rodriguez, with his speed, scores from second. It's an RBI single for Canoe. And now in the bottom of the third, Batavia really starting to pull away. Your Muck Dogs 4, Elmira no score. Batavia sitting pretty. Here comes the 1-2. Smashed up the middle. Oh, leaping try by the pitcher. Knocks it down. And the second baseman fields, but not going to have a play. So Corso crosses the plate. Moving up to first. Reaching with an infield single is Fry. And now Burraway over at third. And in the bottom of the third, Batavia 5, Elmira Gusek. Here comes the pitch. Runner takes his lead from first. Throw to second. Not in time. Runner coming to the plate. Safe! He is safe. So heads up base running by Burraway. And he crosses the score. Or sorry, that's Tyler Canoe rather. But heads up base running by Canoe. He scores standing up. And Burraway goes up to second. And in the bottom of the third inning, Batavia now really blowing it open. It's your Muck Dogs 6, Elmira no score. So Caleb gets charged with 2 errors and already 2 and 3 on the game for Batavia. So it's second and third, 1 out. And now Sparks in his first real jam of the game. Muzio hits it on the ground to first. Corso Fields wins the race to the bag, steps on it. Now coming across the score is Bandler. Meanwhile, moving up to third is Bobby Marso. It's going to be an RBI ground out for Muzio, and Elmira gets on the board in the top of the fourth inning. It is your Muck Dogs 6 and Elmira 1, but they'll take it as they'll get the second out.
So after Elmira did counter with the run, but still found themselves down 6-1, Batavia, what did they do? Well, they did what they did all game, and that was continue to pour it on. Another 5-run outburst, including a key 2-run single by Daniel Burraway, helped push Batavia's lead to an exorbitant 11-1.
Here comes the pitch. Caleb in the air to right, very shallow, gets down for a base hit. Abner Benitez, come on down to score. Station to station baseball for your Muck Dogs, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. It's an RBI single to right for Rodriguez, and it is now 7-1 Muck Dogs. In the bottom of the fourth, they're running away with it. Payoff pitch, down and inside. Ball for bases loaded walk. So Leadham gets an RBI. Touching the plate to score is Jerry Reinhardt. And so now, here in the bottom of the fourth, Batavia 8, Elmira 1. Now setting from the first base side of the mound, it'll be an 0-1. And that is smashed in the air to left center. Left fielder cutting over, makes the catch. However, tagging up and scoring easily without even a throw is going to be Alex Torres. A sacrifice fly to left, as he's done all season long, as I call him, the king of the sack fly. And in the bottom of the fourth inning, Batavia has a 9th spot on the board. Batavia 9, Elmira 1. Now from the first base side of the rubber, it'll be a 2-1. And that is slashed and leaping. It gets past the shortstop into left center field. 1 run scores Rodriguez, 2 runs score, and now Batavia just pouring it on and pouring it on. Leadham and Rodriguez score, 2-run single for Daniel Burroway, and in the bottom of the 4th, Batavia 11, Elmira 1. The route is on here at Dwyer Stadium.
So from there, the two teams would really trade runs. Elmira would get one back, only to watch Batavia score on a wild pitch, and then Elmira would get another one in the top of the 9th to make it 12-3.
Sparks ready to go from the first base side. And the 1-1, and that is swung on, hit high in the air to left field. That'll probably bring in a run. Burroway makes the catch. They throw it in, jogging down the line, tagging and scoring is Wayman. So it's going to be a sac fly to left for Bobby Marsh. Other 2 runners remain put on first and second. And in the top of the 6th for Batavia, you're more than happy to get that out for that run. So 1 away now in the top of the 6th. It's down Batavia 11 and the Pios 2. Now here comes the 2-1 on its way. And that's off the plate, gets away from the catcher, goes to the backstop. Schrader comes a flying home. He scores standing up, and in the bottom of the 7th, Batavia goes back up by double digits. Batavia 12, Elmira 2. Runner on third, 1 away, and here now is Chmielewski, and he hits a high fly ball to right. Isaac again. Underneath it, makes the catch once again. Runner tags from third. He will come across to score. And so, scoring standing up, it is going to be Marsh. A sacrifice fly for Chmielewski. But, again, you'll more than take that if you're Batavia because you're 1 out away from moving on. In the top of the 9th inning now, it's Batavia 12 and Elmira 3.
So it was all set up. 12-3 Batavia, 2 outs, top of the 9th, with a big chance to move on to the second round, 1 out away, and they were able to slam the door shut.
And that could do it. Shallow pop fly, left side of the infield, shortstop makes the catch. Ball game over. First round over. Your Batavia Muck Dogs advance to the second round. They beat Elmira. Your final score tonight, Batavia 12, Elmira 3.
We hope you enjoyed those highlights of the game, as always, proudly presented to you by the Batavia Muck Dogs Baseball Network. And really, again, as we said in the open, what you heard in those highlights just continues to prove why this Muck Dog team is so dangerous. From top to bottom in the lineup, everybody reached base at least once. Multiple players had multiple RBIs and multiple hit games. And when this lineup is clicking like that, they are dangerous and could take on anybody, including Amsterdam. That's right, I said it. The Batavia Muck Dogs could take on even Amsterdam with the way that this lineup is producing and clicking. Batavia looks to be a very dangerous team, and they are certainly rolling at the right time as they soar through the first round of the playoffs and now get ready for round 2 as we await the result of the Utica game as they are taking on Auburn tonight. Winner of that game comes here tomorrow night at 7:05 for round 2. So we'll keep you posted throughout this post-game show on the result. And so with that, now you heard how they got it done. Let us hear from the locker room about how it feels to get a win under their belt here in the postseason in this tour of the locker room, brought to you again by the Muck Dogs Baseball Network.
Here with the offensive star of tonight's game who really got things in motion, and the first Muck Dog to hit a home run here at Dwyer Stadium this season, Levi Aguilar. And Levi, congratulations. And, you got a really good piece of that ball.
And off the bat, did you know it was gone? Then what was the feeling like when you realized that it was gone?
I felt like it was good off the bat. I just didn't know it was going to go out. I thought it was going to be a double. But when it went out, it was awesome. The energy was great amongst the stadium and the team. So it changed the momentum, and kept it going throughout the game.
Take me through that at bat. Were you going up there looking for a fastball? Were you looking off speed? Take me through your approach in that at bat.
I was just looking to do damage. I got that first pitch fastball, and I took an aggressive swing. Obviously, the outcome is what we wanted, so took that same approach throughout the rest of my at bats and trying to keep that same energy throughout the rest of the playoffs.
And the crowd erupted when that ball went over the wall. As a player, when you do something like that, especially in the playoffs, and then the crowd just gets so hyped up like that, what are you feeling inside there?
Just happy, getting the emotion from the crowd just helps me boost my next at bat and my play style. So it gets me going. So I love the energy.
And that really seemed to spark your offense, because after that, you guys scored 10 more runs. Yeah. And as a player, what's it like, and what did you think of the offense today, and to be a part of a lineup that, when it gets rolling like that, is just pretty much unstoppable?
No, yeah, it's a great group of guys. Every single person can hit the ball hard. So when you have a momentum change like that, everybody's just going to feed off of it and then continue to hit the ball hard and make the necessary approach to win this game.
And also Nolan Sparks on the hill tonight. You were his battery mate, and so what did you think of him tonight? What made him so effective?
Today was just his movement with his fastballs and his cutter. His ability to keep it low and effectiveness to get batters out early and create weak contact is what helps him stay in the game longer. So if he keeps doing that, he's gonna go places for sure.
So, obviously, you guys were able to take care of somebody that you've faced in this division a lot. And, do you think that familiarity with them may have helped you tonight, at least with your offense, as far as, you've seen these guys a lot before?
Yeah, it's definitely a confidence booster for the team, already knowing the competition and creating a mental approach before they step up to the plate. So that definitely did help the team, and we took advantage of it. So.
To win like this at home, first playoff game, knowing you're going to have another playoff going home here tomorrow at least, what do you think this can do for the team's confidence going forward in the postseason, be able to win a first playoff game in this manner, or how you did it?
Just continue to roll with the same energy and continue to create the same damage early in the game, and can just continue it, trying to win this championship. So yeah.
And, Levi, to continue to roll like this, obviously you guys went into the playoffs hot, and now it carried right over. What do you think allowed you guys to really be relaxed and not too nervous, knowing how much the atmosphere was going to play a part now that you're in the playoffs, but it didn't seem to bother you guys?
Just not getting too comfortable in certain situations and taking every opportunity as if we were down and just continue to do damage until the game's over.
Last thing here, Levi, you got a playoff game coming up tomorrow, mindset going in, and also, what would you like to say to Muck Dog fans after getting a playoff win tonight?
Just expect, the same energy tomorrow. We're going to come back with the same energy, same fight. So, it doesn't matter the opponent. We're going to come out strong. So just try to get another win.
And on that note, Levi, thank you for the time. Congrats on hitting the first home run for a Muck Dog player this year. Congrats on the win and continued success going forward. Go Muck Dogs.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Go Muck Dogs.
Here with Skip Martinez following his team's exciting, dominant playoff round one victory, 12-3 over Elmira. And, for your team to come out and play the way that they did, obviously this ain't the regular season anymore. This is when the real games start. For your team to come out and play, and not just play, dominant the way they did, what did you think of your team overall today?
Our guys answered the bell. Bell rung, and our guys came up swinging. It's been a microcosm of our entire season. Our guys were pretty locked in for today, and it just shows again their maturity, their focus, and their hunger and desire and their sense of urgency to continue to keep playing baseball here in the summer. So I'm pretty proud of those guys.
Levi was the one that hit the first home run for a Muck Dogs player in this stadium this season, and the crowd just erupted. What did you think of Levi tonight, and how big do you think that was to turn the tide and get your team on the board early?
Yeah, I think that sparked it all. That thing right there sparked it all, along with Sparks pitching. Give it up to Sparks. Noli, Sparky again was outstanding. But that to get the offense going, I think right after that we started rolling. So, Aggie, kind of just exploded on that when that ball was hit pretty well. I kind of knew had a chance. And after that, the bats kept going. So that was a spark plug to the entire team. And I think sometimes all it takes is that one spark plug and the guys get going. And that was it today, definitely. And it was loud.
And, obviously the atmosphere, huge win tonight, 12-3. What do you think that says for your team going forward? Because obviously now you got to await your opponent for round 2. But to come out and play and win in this fashion, what do you think that does for this team as we keep going in the postseason?
Repeat the question, I'm sorry.
Just as far as, to win in the manner in which you did, you guys pretty much played almost as perfect a game as you could play in almost every facet. And to be able to perform like that in this big a stage, what do you think that can do confidence-wise for this team going forward?
Again, I think it's the team has been a confident bunch all year long. And all it does is just continue to almost tell these guys that it's a reassurance in a sense. Like, we're playing well. Our team is pretty good, and those guys, that's how they sense it. That's what they feel. And again, they feel pretty confident. They think that whoever the opponent is, as long as we control the controllables and play our game, they always have a shot day in and day out. So I think that's where their mentality is, and it's been like that all season. I don't think these guys are intimidated by much. So, again, when the bell rings, I think these guys like to answer the bell.
Last thing here, as far as what did you think? Obviously, the fans were behind this team, first playoff game. Overall, what was today like? What was this atmosphere like to play in?
Man, almost from right around when the gates opened, you could feel the electricity. The fans, the buzz. There was a lot of buzz going on. First playoff game, let's go. This, and that, and it was. There was a little bit of. I think from the fan base was just a little bit of tension, anxiety in the air because they don't know. Is this going to be our last game or whatever? But our guys came out swinging, man, and I think once we did that, the fans got more engaged and it made it more fun for the fans and. Our guys performed well, and I think the fans really enjoyed it. This atmosphere was electric for our first playoff game in 2 years that we've been a franchise. So we're pretty young as a franchise, and to be this far, this early, speaks volumes of what front office and the Nichols family and all the front office people, myself and Coach Eaton and. Everything we do behind the scenes to prepare for a scenario like this is really come to full fruition this playoff season. So we're pretty proud of all that stuff.
And that's for Skip. So on that note, we'll wrap things up here. Thank you very much. Congrats on the win, and good luck. And let's do it again tomorrow. What do you say?
That sounds like a plan, John. Let's go Dogs. Let's go for Game 2 tomorrow. Be here at Dwyer, 7 o'clock, man. Let's pack this house. Let's go Dogs.
Here with Brian Fry, and his energy is always big, and I'm sure it had to be off the charts tonight after your team's big 12-3 win to open the playoffs against Elmira. And first, Brian, congrats on the win. And first, I'm going to start by asking about Levi hitting that big 2-run moonshot to left in the bottom of the second. Do you think that really set the tone, and do you think it really got the energy? What was the energy on the dugout like after that went over the wall?
Oh, yeah, I think that was really kind of putting our foot down because started out the game, teams were kind of chirping back and forth, and there was a lot of energy there, and then he hit that home run. That kind of just set the pace for the rest of the game.
And, Nolan went out there, he took the lead, and he basically ran with it, and he was pretty dominant. So what did you think of his performance tonight?
Oh, Nolan, just classic Sparky, just pounding the zone, getting outs, doing what he had to do to get the job done.
And offensively, you guys, we've seen you guys have, and you've been in the middle of a lot of it as far as big offensive numbers. And you put up a 9 spot yesterday, a 12 spot today. As a player to be in the middle of it, like, what's it like to be a part of that lineup, and what's it like to watch?
Oh, it's fun, especially towards the end of the regular season there. We kind of started hitting a little wall there and weren't putting up too many runs, getting too many hits. And then now we're kind of getting back into the feel of things and getting back on top of it.
And, do you think it helped? Obviously, it's no secret. You guys have faced Elmira a ton this season. Do you think that it maybe helped your offense a little bit? The fact that you have seen this team so much, you think it helped you a little bit?
But yeah, today they started out with a guy that I don't think we've seen all season. And then they threw 2 other guys that we've seen every single game we played them. So that was kind of a good thing for us.
And, to be able to play like this as a team in the playoffs, obviously the atmosphere, a lot more people in the building even tonight, to stand up and actually play the way you guys did as a team. What do you think that can do for confidence of this team as we go forward in the playoffs?
Oh, I think confidence is at all-time high right now. You can never get too high or too low in baseball, but I think we're right at that point where we feel like nobody can beat us and feel like we can do everything we can to win.
And, again, with the 12-3 victory, now you guys are moving on to the second round. Where do you think the mindset is now of this team as we now get ready for second round action?
Oh, just survive in advance. Do what it takes to win, and just keep playing for as long as we possibly can.
And obviously, when that final out is recorded and you guys know that you're moving on to the second round and you guys all come running on the field, take me through that as a player. I'm sure you were right in the middle of that.
Oh, it was fun, especially since, this is kind of the first time Batavia's ever done something like this. And to know that we still have the opportunity to play for a championship is great. And I'm just really glad that our season didn't end today.
And just one last thing here, Brian. Overall, what was it like to play in this atmosphere? Obviously the crowd was into it. Everybody was into it. The stakes were raised. What was it like playing here today compared to the regular season?
Oh, it was a great time. Felt like there was a lot of energy out there on the field today, especially with them kind of trying to come at us. And they beat us once this season, and they acted like they won the World Series or something, so we kind of had to give it back to them. And we were definitely going at each other pretty hard, and those are the best games.
So 1 playoff game, 1 win. Let's see if we can make it 2 for 2 tomorrow, Brian. Thank you for the time, and congrats.
Thank you.
Again, we hope you enjoyed those interviews in the tour of the locker room, as always, presented to you by the Batavia Muck Dogs Baseball Network. And again, you really got to feel good for Levi Aguila. This is a guy who started off strong offensively in the first couple weeks of the year. However, really struggled to get it going at the plate during the middle part and the home stretch of the regular season. For him to come out and hit the way that he did today and just really get that tone set with that 2-run homer in the bottom of the second inning, you know what? You got to feel great for a player like that, and just absolutely a huge performance in this big victory for your Muck Dogs, who now punch their ticket for round number 2. And it has gone final. Utica has taken down Auburn, so it is official. 2 teams that were neck and neck for the PGCBL West Division title, but thanks to a quirk in the schedule, never played each other so far in 2022. Well, in about 24 hours or so, that is going to change, as the Utica Blue Sox are on their way here tomorrow night to take on your Batavia Muck Dogs to represent the West Division in the PGCBL Championship. And coverage is going to start at 7:05. We'll have a pregame at around 6:30, 6:45-ish. I'll be on the call on your home for the round 2 bound Batavia Muck Dogs, the Batavia Muck Dogs Baseball Network. So again, just a huge win today. 12-3, they take down Elmira and they move on. And again, as far as standings are concerned, now that we're in the playoffs, we do know that it's going to be Utica and Batavia in the West Divisional matchup here in the playoffs. Meanwhile, Amsterdam also getting ready for their round 2 matchup. And what a good matchup that one's going to be out in the East Division because it is going to be Amsterdam, who's been on a roll this entire year, taking on the defending champions, the Saugerties Stallions, who pulled off the upset over Mohawk Valley yesterday afternoon. And so that is the matchup now in the East Division. And the winner of these two games, now as we're in the Final Four, it's getting exciting, folks. But the Final Four, the winner of those two games will then meet in a best of three to decide the championship. And from what I have heard from numerous sources, it's going to be game one would be, so if Batavia does, assuming they make it to the championship round, in game number one would be here in Batavia on Tuesday, and then games 2 and 3 would be a double header. And let's say it ends up being Amsterdam, which is what it looks to be with the way Amsterdam is playing. So for Amsterdam, they would then host games 2 and 3 in a day-night double header on Wednesday to determine who wins the championship. So again, exciting times ahead, but one day at a time, as Skip Martinez likes to say, and we agree here on the Muck Dogs Baseball Network. So for Batavia, tomorrow night as we look ahead to the next game for round 2, it is going to be the Utica Blue Sox, the team, again, that they went neck and neck with all season long for West Division supremacy. Well, Batavia won the right because they outperformed them down the stretch to host the game, and they will take on the Utica Blue Sox, who took down Auburn tonight to move on to round 2, and first pitch set for 7:05 right here at Dwyer Stadium. So it's going to be an exciting matchup, and we will have the call for you at 7 o'clock. So that is going to finish up pretty much the official postseason edition of the Batavia Muck Dogs postgame show for everybody here at Dwyer Stadium. I am John Kruba signing off. And one more time, your final score, Batavia moving on with a 12-3 victory over the Elmira Pioneers. We will see you for round 2, everybody. See you tomorrow night and see if your Muck Dogs can move on to the championship. And remember, Batavia's magic number now 3 to win the whole thing. A win tomorrow, and then if they could win 2 of 3 from whoever they play in the championship, and the trophy will come back here to Batavia for the first time for the Muck Dogs as a member of the PGCBL. But we are going to close now with the rerun of the finish of tonight's broadcast celebrating the round 1 victory. We hope you enjoy it on the Muck Dogs Baseball Network. John Kruba signing off. Celebrate Batavia. We'll see you tomorrow. Your Muck Dogs are on to round 2. Good night, everybody.
And that could do it. Shallow pop fly, left side of the infield, shortstop makes the catch. Ball game over. First round over. Your Batavia Muck Dogs advance to the second round. They beat Elmira. Your final score tonight, Batavia 12, Elmira 3. And folks, what a game that was. Again, by Batavia, just well played, well executed, and really the player of the game, yes, you could give it to Nolan Sparks for going almost 7, but you know what? Really, the player of the game gotta go to Levi Aguilar. He hit that 2-run home run in the bottom of the second inning, and from there, they never looked back. You could tell that got the crowd fired up. Like we said, Muck Dogs had not hit a home run here at Dwyer all season. Well, this was a heck of a time to do it. A 2-run laser beam to left field, just got over that wall, made it 2-0, and that really started to turn the tide in Batavia's favor. They scored 4 more runs in the bottom of the third, 5 more in the fourth to build an 11-1 lead, and from there it was never really a ball game after that. So for Elmira, a season to be proud of, made the playoffs, and fought at least till the end here. But their season comes to an end, but you know what? Good news, Batavia, your Muck Dog season does not come to an end. I mean, really, this season has been way too much fun to go out and flame out in a first-round exit, right? Well, your Muck Dogs went out there today and made sure that was not going to happen from first pitch onward. What a complete dominant performance by your Batavia Muck Dogs. Before we wrap things up, just want to give you the final line score one more time. Batavia 12-9-3, beating 3-6-0 for Elmira. So again, thank you to everybody who made today's broadcast possible. Robbie and Nellie Nichols, Mark and Tabitha Witt, and everybody here at Dwyer Stadium. I am John Karuba. If you want tickets for tomorrow's game back here at Dwyer between the winner of Utica or Auburn, then you can call 585-524-2260. Again, 585-524-2260, or visit the box office. So with that, that's pretty much going to wrap it up here from Dwyer Stadium. One more time, your final score. Batavia 12, Elmira 3. John Kruba signing off, saying have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. And we will be back on the air tomorrow for round 2. So nice, we got to do it twice. Batavia here at Dwyer against either Utica or Auburn. So for everybody here, John Kruba signing off. One more time, final score. Batavia 12, Elmira 3. You've been watching PGCBL playoff first round action on your home of the Muck Dogs, the Batavia Muck Dogs Baseball Network. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to today's presentation of Batavia Muck Dogs Baseball and this edition of the Batavia Muck Dogs post-game show. Tune into the next exciting telecast to catch everything exciting with your Muck Dogs on the Batavia Muck Dogs Baseball Network.